This way. There we go. All right. But I was thinking about my habit, as you can see, of sitting in the garage. I spend a considerable part of my chill time in the garage. I think it goes back to my childhood, because come to find out that my brother also does. After he has breakfast and everything, he spends most of his day, he goes straight out to the garage, and that's where he does everything. And I think it's one of those, because when I think about it, when we were kids, we spent a lot of time in the garage because that was in the 70's. And, you know, kids went outside and played because, you know, that's what we did back then. We didn't have electronic games and shit. So we had to go outside and find something to do. And we went in the garage a lot because our garage, I remember there was a bunch of stuff in our garage that didn't belong to us, but it belonged to the man who owned the house that we were renting the house from. And he and my dad apparently had this arrangement, and so he had a bunch of stuff in the garage. But since it wasn't our stuff, and we're kids doing what kids do, we went through it. Now, the Christmas lights, that was fun. We had a good time. Let me explain about the Christmas lights. Just hang on. See, the thing about the Christmas lights was, when I was growing up as a kid, and, you know, I was born in 63. So, you know, by 73, I was 10 years old. So I remember when we moved from the house that we lived in when I was a little kid, when I was a baby, the house we were in when I was born, and then like when I was just before I started kindergarten, we moved. And we moved into a new house that was, the garage was full of stuff because we were renting the house. And Mr. Webb, who was the owner of the house, had made a deal with my dad and had some stuff in the garage, and I guess he just said, you could leave him here. So we had a bunch of shit in the garage that we, you know, would go through because we were kids. And, you know, back in the 70's, you went outside and found something to do with yourself, because if you didn't, mom was gonna put you to work in the house. If you messed around the house too long, she was gonna put your ass to work. That's just how that was gonna happen. So as soon as breakfast was done, especially in the summer, you went and found something to keep yourself busy. Because if you got on mom's nerves and, you know, got in her way or whatever, she was gonna put you to work. And she had a very special job just for me, because I was just a lot of work as a child. I wasn't bad, but I took a lot. I required attention sometimes, and so mom had to get creative and find things for me to do. And she had a favorite, which was, she had two favorites. One was she would give me a damp rag and a water bottle, and she would have me dust the leaves of all of her houseplants. Now, my mom loved houseplants to the point where our house was like a jungle inside. There were houseplants everywhere, trees of all types. There was everywhere. So, mind you, and she would say, don't kill my plant. Don't hurt my plant. Don't destroy my plant. Don't tear no leaves. So I had to literally get every leaf and wipe it off with the towel. And I was like 6. So mom was pretty ingenious with that. Her other one was the baseboards. Start right here with another rag and a spray bottle with some soap in it, and start right here at the front door, go this direction, and I want you to clean all the baseboards in the whole house. Yeah. That one would take me days to finish. So I avoided mom having to give me work to do, because I wasn't trying to clean no baseboards or once. So, the Christmas light story. Well, let me tell you what happened with the Christmas light story. We were raised very religious, and we were raised in a religion that did not, celebrating Christmas was not a thing for us. So we didn't do birthdays and Christmas and all that. So things like Christmas light didn't matter to us. They held no value for us in my household. So one day we were out in the garage. It was summertime, and we were out in the garage discovering what was in all the stuff that was in the garage in the house we lived in. And we discovered way back in the corner boxes and boxes of Christmas lights. And some weren't in boxes, some were just loose lights. They weren't they were just bulbs. All these colorful Christmas bulbs. And in the 70s, they were like this big, and you screwed them in. You had the thing that you put the cord around the house and left it up there all year long, and you just unscrewed the bulbs. Some people just unscrew the bulbs and then screw them back in. It was a lot of fucking work, but in the 70s, you had nothing else to do, so why not? Anyway, we discovered the bulbs. Somebody dropped one by accident, and you know how Christmas bulbs, those old-fashioned bulbs, when they hit the ground, they make that real distinct light bulb glass shattering sound. And we were like, oh. Everybody went, oh, that sounded cool. Ooh, you broke one, though. Oh, we don't celebrate Christmas. Okay, and it went from there. Boy, we had fun that day. We had a great time that day, I will tell you, because instead of just dropping him on the floor in the back corner of the garage to hear the sound, one of my brothers decided to toss one out, which he did. And we went, oh. And every time we did that, every time we all did that, okay, we all got the same look, which was, oh my God, that was cool. Let's try that again. And yeah, so we had hundreds of Christmas light bulbs in all different colors in the garage. And we got carried away because we started hurling them bitches out from the garage door as far as you could get them. I mean, like rear back and just throw it with all your might out past the driveway into the street. Oh, 3 kids and hundreds of light bulbs and a summer day when we're not being supervised. Yeah, that ended up with a large pile of glass in the street, which when my dad came home and had to drive through all that glass and proceeded to get a punctured tire because of the light bulbs that punctured his tire, we got in trouble because he was seriously displeased. Now I got to replace not 1, but 2 tires. And those were Mr. Webb's light bulbs he planned to put on his house during Christmas. You guys just destroyed them all. Now I get to replace all of his light bulbs. Oops. Yeah, we did that a lot in the 70s. Stuff like that, yeah. Okay, and the worst part about all that story is Mr. Webb lived directly across the street. So we were throwing the bulbs out of our garage to the street, which was directly across from his house. So if he had looked out the window at any time during that day, he would have seen his light bulbs get destroyed, but he didn't see it. I don't think my dad ever actually bought him new replacement light bulbs, but I don't remember Mr. Webb's house ever having Christmas lights. And I think it's because we destroyed all of his bulbs. Okay, now that I think about it, that's some funny shit. I mean, just remembering my dad, the look on his face, because you could now, as a kid I didn't know, but now I realize he was like, I ain't replacing them goddamn bulbs. He can kiss my ass. So no, Mr. Webb never had lights on his house for Christmas after we moved in across the street. Oh my God, we were so bad.